Hello, welcome to this preview of the ComSoc class on LTE, LTE Advanced, and beyond. LTE can be viewed as the culmination of many years of research and development in cellular systems. And in particular, there has been a trend going towards more and more data communications, mobile data. Even as late as 3G systems, voice was still the main kind of traffic, the main concern in the design. But by the time we get to LTE, we finally have the so-called all IP network, and we have data first design. All right, so LTE is kind of a data first wireless system, and in addition, it also incorporates the latest technologies and optimizations, new ideas that were not even known when 3G was being created, or perhaps were not mature at that time. So we have technologies like OFDMA, MIMO, hybrid ARQ in LTE that we didn't see in 3G systems. Well, what about LTE Advanced then? So we'll be covering those topics, OFDMA, MIMO, and we're talking about and how they are put together in LTE, and then we'll also then consider LTE Advanced. So what about LTE Advanced now? How does that relate to LTE? The short answer is that it's an evolution of LTE, but the reason why it has a different name is that LTE actually did not meet the requirements from ITU for what a 4G system should be. It's only by the time we get to LTE Advanced that we have these continuing enhancements of LTE. Finally, we are able to meet the requirements for what a true 4G system should be, and so that's why then this LTE Advanced was given this new name, LTE Advanced, to emphasize this point that this is a 4G system. So what's next? What's beyond? I offer you two perspectives. So one is the shorter term perspective, and that is the continuing work, because LTE and then LTE Advanced, every year there's continuing work, every year or year or 2 years, where new developments, new enhancements are added. So as I was saying, LTE is something that's continually being evolved. At one point in time, you had LTE Advanced. Now, going beyond LTE Advanced, additional improvements are being added. So that's kind of the shorter term perspective, and we'll give an overview of what's happening there in the 3GPP standards. The other perspective of what's beyond is 5G, the fifth generation. The immediate thing that most people might think about is that, well, we'll just go one or two orders of magnitude higher in terms of the data rates that we can achieve. Then we can start having the even higher quality video, real-time video going over the network, things like that. Well, it's not quite so simple. Yes, that the increase in data rates was a very important factor going from 3G to 4G, because of the need to support various kinds of data communications, various applications of data communications. So it's not just voice, so things like video now had to be supported on LTE. However, there are other emerging requirements and applications that people are thinking should also go into what defines 5G. So it's not just about achieving higher data rates, but also supporting other paradigms of communications that have been emerging and are getting more and more important as we move forward. So things like machine to machine, device to device, the Internet of Things, or IoT, which is really huge these days. I mean, as far as people talking about what really needs to be done. So these kinds of things are coming into the picture for 5G. So it's not just about higher data rates. Meanwhile, there's all kinds of suggestions about the radio spectrum that should be used for 5G. So things like millimeter wave, for example. And network densification is another idea, massive MIMO, various kinds of things. So we'll talk about these ideas and trying to give a perspective on what's happening uh, in the industry today, and then also the IMT 2020 standards. This course is being revised and updated every time it is offered. We'll be covering the latest developments in 3GPP, as well as the latest developments in IMT 2020. And if this interests you, I hope you'll join us. Thank you.